Welcome, welcome. So, welcome to your Who Am I Gonna Marry reading. So I'm just gonna get straight to it. We have 3 decks here. So just tune in, use your intuition. Go if you're not sure, go with your immediate gut, first instinct. Choose between the 3 decks. I'm gonna count to 10. So the first group we have before that, so we have this earring here. It's like this nice blue-green, sort of like teal color, as the first group. And then the second group we have this ring. Third group we have this beautiful golden citrine pendant. So once again, gotta choose between the 3. I'm gonna count down from 10, starting now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so if you've decided, I'm going to move on to the first group here. Move the other cards out of the way. So starting with the first group, so here we have this earring group. I'm just going to lay out all of them at once and then try to see, look at like a map and then try to see what all we have. So this being the first card, I'm just gonna right off the bat say that this card represents what bonded you together or brought you two together, certain values or themes that you both see eye to eye on. So we have here the freedom card. So you both value freedom. You're both passionate about being free-spirited, not quite having both of your feet on the ground. You value freedom, and that's what brought you together. That's what's gonna keep you bonded. So here we have warrior, first archetype card representing the other person. They're a warrior. They have a lot of warrior spirit. They're tough. They fight for what they believe in, and they are just very, very tough people who fight for their cause or whatever they believe in. Here we have the second archetype card, femme fatale. So I think this represents you. If you're a man, you could be a Don Juan type archetype, but if you're a female, you may be a flirt. You like to seduce. You kind of like to use it to your advantage. Not a bad thing. Okay, so here we have the Queen of Pentacles. I think instinctively this kind of ties into these maybe femme fatale sort of like archetype. You're a go-getter, you're a businesswoman, you're strong, and you use those femme fatale powers to your advantage. But you're an alpha woman, go-getter, and this other person. And if you're a male, then you're alpha man. Reverse the genders as it pertains to you. But what I'm seeing is this is what they admire about you. Here we have the World card. So at one point in your relationship, you're probably going to go through a major change of some kind, and that may actually bond you closer together, but some form of transformation. And then here we have the Chariot card. So immediately, instinctively, I'm getting that if you've got light and dark or freedom and groundedness, you're going to have to maintain that balance, and that requires a certain type of strength, and that's what's going to keep you two together, is that balance that you work for. All right, so I'm going to take this one step further, and then I'm shuffling a different deck to try to get some more clarity. Okay, there's the first one. So what more do we have for the first group, the earring group? What more do we have? Got 2 cards that popped out. All right, so I think that once again, this is going back to the transformation. Don't be afraid of this card. This usually means a form of transformation that you're going to go through. It's really going to change one or both of you, and it's going to bring you closer together. Here we have like a merchant, go-getter. Just to clarify, these are tarot cards, but I like to look at the images to try to kind of look outside of the traditional tarot, to try to just look at the details in the pictures. But for this one, we get like a merchant. We get somebody who, once again, lives their own. They live by their own means. They, they scrounge together what they can with what they have, and they're not ashamed of it. And this is something that I think resonates with probably one or both of you. And then here we have, once again, tying to the freedom. This person loves the fact that you are free in your feminine energy element. You're in your element when you're most in your element when you're free, and they love that about you, so do not shy away from that. This may be, I think, maybe a warning against being a little too maybe arrogant. I would say maybe a little too big-headed. If one or both of you have that aspect about yourself, then maybe that might be something that needs to be kept in check. Or maybe if one of both of you are big-headed, the other may just be like, hey, calm down. You know, that's all it takes for someone to just kind of let you know. Alright, so moving on, I'm going to clarify some more actually with different decks. What more do we have for the first group? What more information do we have for, let's see, so be wary of, yes, temptation. Once again, you are a femme fatale. This may even be kind of a warning against your own temptation that you face. You know, having that beautiful, like, femme fatale, almost like scorpionic, Scorpios, maybe even another water sign type energy, you're going to be faced with a lot of temptation. You're going to have to decide, do I want this apple? Or do I want to go back to my warrior? Do I want to stay loyal to my warrior? Take whatever resonates with you, but, you know, you got to make that choice. Here I see hedgehog. So yeah, one or both of you may have a little problem with maybe being a little stiff, keeping the other at bay when you're feeling insecure. You got to balance that out, keep each other in check, along with a lot of things that happens in a partnership. You got to keep each other in check. Here we have gloves. So maybe, yeah, the idea that maybe, yeah, you're a little guarded. Maybe one or both of you are a little guarded. I'm kind of getting, because we have like two cards that point to the fact that there's some guardedness going on. It may even be yourself, you know, learn to open up. Or it could be the other person. Maybe they're really guarded. Maybe they have some prickliness to them and they're feeling a little insecure, low energy. They feel guarded. But you gotta, you know, learn to balance that out. Once again, we have here importance of balance. Balance freedom with groundedness. Balance, you know, overzealousness with the peaceful, like, tranquility that one or both of you can provide. Balance the prickliness or maybe the sort of like guardedness that may appear when one or both of you may be a little insecure. The strength of balance, I think that's really resonating here with this reading. So that's all I have for the first group. I hope it was informative. I hope that it kind of gave you some insight into what brought you together, what bonds you together, what's going to keep you close, and then maybe a little bit about yourself as well, knowing like some subconscious archetypes that may be at play here. But yeah, so like, subscribe, comment if you want to know more, share if this really resonated with you, and I'm going to move on to the second group, so see you later. Alright, so second group. So here we have the ring group. I'm going to, like I did for the previous group, kind of just lay out all the cards, try to see what's going on in terms of some form of patterns or insights that we have here. This big map of cards. Let's see. Okay, so first card, once again, like the previous group, this is going to represent what bonded you together. Here we have love. So I'm seeing here that both of you are idealists when it comes to love. You're very positive. You have an optimistic outlook when it comes to love, and that is what's going to ultimately bring you together, bond you together, and keep you together. Here we have first archetype card. So I think that, so the companion card, I'm thinking that you both started out as friends, or if anything, there's a strong element of friendship. You may have hobbies that you share together, or you may enjoy the same things together. There's like a kind of like a feeling of friendship before anything else, like an element of, yes, close friendship, playfulness. Second archetype card, I think this probably represents maybe getting you, like a sort of naive child, magical, you believe in fairy tales, you believe in magic, tying into, once again, the idealistic sort of optimism for love, you believe in true love. I think maybe they even the other person appreciates this about you, that aspect. So here we have, going along with the other cards, Nine of Cups. So I think this person is dreamy, or maybe you're dreamy, you're idealist, you're optimist, you chase after dreams, and this also kind of represents they fill your emotional cup, or you fill their emotional cup, you fill each other's emotional cups. Your cups are overflowing with emotions, tenderness, gentleness. So here we have the King of Pentacles. So I think that, that's kind of a little different from the first card that we got. So in the beginning, if this person was about emotionally fulfilling you, emotionally filling your cup, that gentle sort of knight, I think later on, probably in the course of your relationship, they will become more of a provider here. They're still dreamy. They still have that gentle, dreamy optimism, most naivety about them. But they're, once again, a knight. They're here to provide, be that sort of, like, they want to take care of you, whether that be emotionally, financially, physically. And then here we have an element of intuition. We've got okay, so this is kind of like the other group. We have sort of a balance between maybe an important need to balance out, like the dreamy sort of optimism with some groundedness, some sort of realism. So yeah, balance out the idealism with the realism. Not necessarily falling into skepticism, but yeah, you gotta have that balance. There's a very emotional, intuitive, gentle, like, flowing water vibe between the two of you, kind of tying into the Knight of Pentacles here, this dreamy, sort of gentle, just so pure, like fairy tales, sort of energy that we have here. The child magic card, it kind of all ties in together. You are both dreamy idealists, and that's what brought you together, and that's what's gonna, help you stay together, is reminding yourself of that, stay true to who you are. So like the previous group, I'm gonna pull out some other cards here. I'm shuffling some other cards to try to clarify. So what more do we have for the second group? Let's see, what more do we have for the second group? Oh, it's like 2 cards. Okay. So once again, these are tarot cards, but what I'm doing is looking at the visuals and then trying to find meaning in the pictures, maybe being a little bit outside of the box. But okay, so here we have a couple, kind of tying into the stars. Once again, you both have maybe, like the idealism that kind of keeps you bonded, keeps you close. A couple looking at the stars. Never lose sight of that idealistic, like dreamy, starry-eyed sort of vibe that you both have, because that's what's going to keep you together. Here we have a Chariot. So this is kind of pointing to the fact that strength is important here in some ways, maybe. Like even if you're both idealists, once again tying into the keeping yourself grounded with that healthy dose of realism, that requires a form of strength. Like, okay, I'm an idealist, I'm an optimist, I see everything with rose-colored glasses, but you kind of ground yourself and be like, hey, look at the facts. Here's a dose of realism, pow. And that's going to help in this case. And then here we have harmony. We have a woman here with a deer. So I think this kind of sheds light on the fact that both of you maybe bond over to your love for animals, a sense of, wanting like peace in the world through nature, or kind of goes along with that dreamy idealism that we have. So these are all things that are going to keep you bonded, or that have brought you guys together. Let's see, what more do we have for the second group? Okay, all these cards. Alright, what more do we have for the second group? Oh, this one popped out. Alright, so some more clarity here. So maybe there's a tendency with this hedgehog card, I think maybe with yourself or the other person, when you're feeling insecure about things, you tend to get a little prickly. Gotta get over that. There's a way to get over that, I think, through just talking, or all it takes is, hey, you can talk to me, you can be yourself, having heart-to-heart talk, really keeping that fluidity of water, intuition, emotions, wings. So I think this kind of ties into, okay, so wings, you're gonna maybe help the other person, you'll help each other achieve that sort of, like with the previous cards here, we have that transition from dreamy idealism to actually, using that into manifesting maybe financial or more tangible success outside of the dreaminess, but you'll keep each other balanced in that way, I think, playing off of each other. Playing off each other's strengths and weaknesses between the dreamy idealism and the realism, healthy dose of tangible realism. You're going to get each other where you need to go. You'll be each other's wings, no doubt about it. So here we have a book. I think this maybe points to the fact that you guys need to do a lot of research. Once again, you have a lot of healthy dose of idealism and optimism between the both of you, that kind of makes you dreamy, that you need to do, I think, research when it comes to moving as a couple. Take that optimism, that unrelenting positivity, and that dreaminess, that sort of idealism, unfailing idealism, and pour it into doing a good amount of research to try to figure out how can I turn my dreams, going back to once again these two cards, how can I turn my dreams into reality? So balance is key, between dreams, and tangible, sort of real world, sort of, getting where you need to go, realism. Okay, so that's all I have for the second group. I'm gonna move on to the third group. I hope this was informative. I hope that it's, once again told you how both of you are, what bonds you together, what challenges you might face, how you can get through them. I hope this shed some insight on that. So I'm going to move on to the third group. Like, subscribe, share if this resonated with you, and see you next time, group 2. Then moving on to the third group. So here we have, once again, the pendant, the Citrine pendant group. I'm going to lay out all the cards like I did for the previous groups to try to see what might be going on here, shed some light, lay it out all like a map. Vision board of sorts. So we've got humanity. So this immediately tells me that you're both getting kind of visionaries. You have a vision for humanity. You have maybe almost here, if you look at this archetype card, we have advocate. So this person, I think, or yourself, is someone who fights for causes. They're revolutionary. They have, once again, a vision of the way the world should be, almost like a social warrior, but not necessarily in an ironic way, but really like a real social warrior. Here, I think this maybe resonates with one or both of you, the healer archetype. So one or both of you may be in healthcare, or you enjoy healing other people, either emotionally or mentally, or whatever it may be. You have, tying into the advocate card, you both have a shared vision for humanity, and this is what either brings you together or bonds you together, and this is something that you should unrelentingly pursue, a vision for humanity, once again, something that you're both bonded over. Okay, so here we have Two of Pentacles tying into the partnership aspect of this relationship. Maybe you have a partnership based on this vision for humanity. As an advocate and as a healer, you bond over the fact that you have a vision for humanity of what social issues should evolve into, and you maybe even have a partnership over maybe a revolutionary vision. I see advocacy. Here we have the Tower. Don't be afraid of this card. So basically, I think this probably means that at one point in the relationship, you're going to have to go through a life-changing moment, or maybe some sort of form of obstacle that has something to do with your advocacy and your love for healing in one or both of you. There's going to be a little minor setback, but with the Tower card, there's not really much you can do to prevent it. Just weather through it. You will get through it, and it's all literally in the cards. Keep on fighting for your advocacy or your love for healing. Keep at it. Because, where there's a will, there's a way. Here we have the Hierophant card. So I think this is maybe tying into this. Like, once you get to, like, you do have a vision for the world, you're social warriors in the literal sense. But once you reach that obstacle here, it's going to be a setback. You may want to reach out to maybe someone who is equipped, like a counselor, or maybe a spiritual sort of guide, spiritual sort of expert, like maybe religious, like a pastor or a counselor, or just or maybe even like a person, an authority figure or mentor, or maybe like a parent or grandparent, whoever may be wise and have a lot of insight to share based on their plethora of experiences. Reach out to that person when this Tower moment happens, and that's going to really help you get through it together. So, like the previous two groups, I'm gonna shuffle. I'm shuffling some cards right now. Try to get some more insight into what is happening. Okay, so these popped out. Let's see. So yeah, love for nature, or love for not necessarily. Well, yeah, nature, humanity. You have a vision of what humanity should be. That's what drives you, and that inherent need to spread good in the world. I think that's what's going to keep you bonded. That's what brought you together. I think here's two people looking at this big institution together, building institution kind of something. I think this is maybe pointing to the fact that at one point in your relationship, yeah, you are going to have to face something bigger than yourself, whether it be joining it or dealing with or tackling it in some way. But that ties into the social, justice sort of vibe that you both have going on. Here's a picture of like a merchant. You may need to maybe maybe even develop like a sense of entrepreneurialism in terms of your cause. Once again, as an advocate and healer, a sense of entrepreneurialism, or even if, so whatever organization or whatever it may be that you may work for, if it's not fulfilling, you may have to just take matters into your own hands and create your own organization, create your own cause, or even if it's like a side gig, be a starter, pioneer, and that's going to work out in the long run in a positive way, as long as you have the right vision and the right, like I said, where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, so like I did for the previous scoop, I'm gonna shuffle some more cards and try to get some more information for you guys here. So we have 4 cards pop out. So your vision, I think, is a way it nourishes the both of you. Like, if you're ever feeling depleted or like, wow, this world is so vast and there's so much that needs to be done, just remember your vision, bounce it off each other. Like, remember, we are advocates and healers, both of us, and that's what's going to nourish your relationship as well. So this points to kind of like your vision. You see a vision kind of like the moon. It's bright, it's shrouded in the night sky, but it's there and it's bright and it's gleaming and it's going to guide you. Your vision is very, very present. So this kind of points to the fact that you're both maybe like busybodies. You And that's definitely a good thing here. You're going to be both very, very busy, and that may actually keep your relationship moving along a little better. So don't be afraid of this card. I think this kind of represents, like, if there's a piece of advice from this, it would definitely be to remember your past. Remember the things that you've been through previously. Maybe when you're facing similar obstacles that you faced in the past, kind of like this with the tower moment, you may want to remember what you did, learn from that, and then try to, learn from the patterns, learn from your mistakes. And then I think it may help once again to reach out to someone who may be more equipped, they have more experience, maybe an older person or an authority or a religious person, clergyman or counselor of some kind, who can really help you get through this tower moment. But I think there is an importance in remembering your past, what you've been through in the past, and then learning from your mistakes. So that is all I have for the last but not least, the pendant group. I hope that was informative. I hope you learned a lot in terms of, what brought you two together, what's going to keep you two bonded, and like what to do when you're faced with any obstacles along the way. Ooh, this one's stuck. But anyways, okay, so like, subscribe, comment, and share if this resonated with you. And if you have any questions, once again, or any whatever insights may have popped up, definitely comment with any questions you may have. So I hope this was informative, and I will see you next time.